Alright guys, today we have more PlayStation news to go over and discuss. Before we dive into it, do me a favor, hit the like button to help the video out and show your support, and if you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. The first thing we're talking about is Gamescom, which is happening tomorrow, and I want to let you know first and foremost that I will be streaming Gamescom live here on the channel, so feel free to come hang out with me while we see what Jeff Keighley plans to reveal. But he's been very active on his Twitter account recently because, he's hyping up the show and he's revealing some things that we can expect to see at the Gamescom showcase. Now, one of the things that he tweeted out that caught the attention of a lot of PlayStation fans is letting us know which publishers are going to be at the show. Now, if you look at the partners list for Gamescom, Sony is not listed on that specific area. And so a lot of people were like, well, I guess Sony isn't going to be here. And I thought this as well. I was like, okay, I guess PlayStation is just opting out of Gamescom. They're not going to be part of it. But this is what his tweet reads. He says, 24 hours from now, here are some of the publishers who will be participating in Gamescom opening night live tomorrow. Hope to see you there for the live stream as we celebrate all the amazing video games coming later this year and in the future. And listed here as one of the publishers is PlayStation. Now, some people are saying that the reason for this, and I do agree with this could very well be the actual reason, is not too long ago, actually I think the day before he revealed that PlayStation is part of this, he lets us know that Death Stranding Directors Cut will be featured during Gamescom. So he tweeted out Wednesday, don't miss an extended look at the gameplay of Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding Directors Cut for PlayStation 5 during Gamescom opening night live. Don't miss this moment. And then he gives us the times at which the stream will begin. It sounds pretty excited for this. He's saying, don't miss this moment. I mean, we know that Jeff is a big fan of Hideo Kojima, good friends with him, and so this was not necessarily surprising because the idea that Kojima would be part of Gamescom is not surprising, and the idea that we're going to be getting an extended look or another look at Death Stranding Director's Cut, I think this will be the first time we actually see gameplay. It sounds like it's going to be pretty lengthy. None of this is surprising, it's just suddenly PlayStation now being involved with Gamescom is what comes off as a little bit surprising because we haven't really heard anything about PlayStation being part of Gamescom until basically the last 24 to 48 hours. And so I'm definitely happy about that. At the very least, we know we're going to get a new gameplay demo of Death Stranding running on PS5, so I'm happy about that. But, I would be lying if I said that PlayStation fans aren't expecting maybe a little bit something more than that, right? A little bit extra. It's hard to say if we are going to get anything. We know that Sifu's going to be there, so that's nice. So we got Death Stranding Director's Cut and Sifu, and so we'll have to see. I mean, it's anybody's guess if Sony's going to have more to show or more to reveal during Gamescom. I mean, there was the whole blue box situation, and the last time we talked about this, it became clear that this is not really a thing, right? Or at least it seems like it's not. It's pretty much done now. But from what I could tell is, there are a lot of people who are looking at Gamescom and knowing that Kojima's going to be there, knowing that, Jeff Keighley's hosting it, knowing that Konami's going to be part of it. A lot of people who were kind of following this blue box thing, they're looking at Gamescom and they're like, well, this is it. If nothing significant happens at all, then that's it. This thing is over, right? I mean, to a lot of people, it's already over, but I just wanted to point that out because obviously we've been covering Blue Box here on the channel and this whole situation. And so, yeah, I won't lie. I'm going to be interested to see if anything at all happens, but I do want to let you know that my expectation, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow when I stream, my expectation is I'm just expecting a demo for Death Stranding Director's Cut on PS5, which is going to be great because I want to see what this game's going to be like on the PS5 now, and some more Sifu. And that's all I expect. If we get anything more than that, that's awesome and very much welcome, but I just want to make it clear that that's what I'm expecting. One last thing I want to mention, talking about Jeff Keighley's Twitter, is he put out this tweet 4 hours ago as of the time of this recording, where he says, text me for updates about opening night live, and he posts a phone number here, and so you can get text message updates when it comes to Gamescom, which is cool. But people have discovered that if you call this number, you hear a line of somebody saying time's running out, and apparently it was Bridget from Death Stranding, and it was a line extracted from, I think, the opening sequence of Death Stranding, and it was just kind of random, and I tested it out myself. I called the number, and it's true, it's there. It sounds really creepy. I actually had no idea at first that it was from Death Stranding and that it was Bridget from Death Stranding, and so when you hear that, you know, so randomly, it sounds creepy, and it's kind of off-putting, and you don't have any context. I just thought that was pretty funny, so I wanted to let you guys know about that. But moving on to the next topic here, I want to let you guys know about an interesting PlayStation Plus rumor that started making the rounds that was recently debunked. At least a portion of this rumor was debunked. So there was an image floating around that showed September's PlayStation Plus games, or supposedly what these games would be. And for PlayStation 5, The Medium was featured. And then below that, there were two other games, Haven and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered. And, you know, a lot of people were like, wow, this would be a really great month if this is true. But Bloober Team did come out and say, yes, we can confirm that The Medium on PS5 will not be available in PlayStation Plus. So it pretty much shoots it down entirely. But, you know, some people are still thinking, well, maybe just the Medium part is wrong, but maybe we'll still get Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I wouldn't assume that. I would honestly assume, because Bloober Team has responded directly to this, I would just look at this image and say, this is just somebody that, you know, made this, and it's not happening, right? So we're gonna have to see. I guess we'll find out maybe, I think tomorrow, maybe we'll find out what Sony's doing for PlayStation Plus for September, and hopefully we get a solid lineup. But I just want to let you guys know about that. I also want to let you know that there is another update for a game on PlayStation 5 that will make it so if you play it on the PS5, you'll be able to play it at 60 frames per second. That game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So Ubisoft patched Assassin's Creed Odyssey yesterday, allowing the game to run at 60 frames per second on PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles via backwards compatibility. So if you are an Assassin's Creed fan and you haven't played Assassin's Creed Odyssey yet, or maybe you just are looking for a reason to go back and play it, if you do have a PS5 or a next-gen Xbox console, you will be able to experience the game at 60 frames per second. So definitely pretty cool. It's nice to see that developers are still going back to these games and kind of enhancing them if you're playing them on the new consoles, right? It's always nice to, if you decide to go back to a game for whatever reason, maybe you're not expecting it to run at a higher frame rate, and you know, boot up the game and you find out, oh, this is actually running at 60 FPS now. Definitely something that we like to see. But moving on from that, we're talking about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which is causing a lot of excitement across the internet for obvious reasons. So yeah, Sony did release this trailer, but what's interesting is people are pointing out that Sony actually advertised the Dualsense controller in this trailer. So Sony Pictures debuted the long-awaited Spider-Man No Way Home trailer this week, and while there's plenty to get excited about, two classic villains are teased in the footage from previous Spider-Man films. There's also an appearance by the DualSense controller. The PS5 controller shows up at the end of the trailer under the banner Heighten Your Senses, which ties in nicely with the Spider-Man theme. After all, PlayStation and the DualSense are closely tied to the franchise, seeing as how we have Spider-Man Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales available for the PS5. So yeah, a lot of people are kind of pointing this out because it's just so random. I saw that Sony also dropped the trailer on their official PlayStation account as well as their other accounts, and it's just really interesting to see that they're now advertising certain PlayStation products with their movie trailers, and it makes a lot of sense with the Spider-Man trailer, right? I mean, as this mentions, there's multiple Spider-Man games available exclusively on the PlayStation platform, so why not? You know, just put it out there, let people know, hey, DualSense, right? So just want to tell you guys know about that. But the final thing we're talking about is how well Ghost of Tsushima Directors Cut is selling, apparently. PlayStation 5 games are seeing a resurgence in the top 10 on the UK charts. So it says here, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut saw 91% of its sales on the PS5, with the rest made up of the PlayStation 4 edition of the game. Given the number of improvements on the PS5 version, That's not really that surprising. Elsewhere, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart came in second place, thanks to a 105% increase in sales, while Spider-Man Miles Morales took third place with a 92% sales increase. And I didn't mention it, but Ghost of Tsushima Directors Cut is at the #1 spot. So a lot of people going out there and supporting Ghost of Tsushima Directors Cut. You know, this is where I always try to tell people, like, you know, there are those who get upset about director's cuts and stuff like that, and some people who are upset that Sony's doing this with a game like Ghost of Tsushima, but I try to explain, like, it's most likely going to sell really well, and it's going to do, you know, big numbers for Sony, and this is our first indication of that. But man, you look at this top 10 chart, and the first 3 games, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet & Clank, and Spider-Man Miles Morales, definitely solid, man. You know, you're continuing to see Sony's games just do well, right? They do well over time, and you know, sales aren't everything, obviously, but as somebody who likes these types of games, and I want to see more of them over time, it's always important to me anyway to kind of pay attention, you know, how well are they doing? And so seeing that they're all doing well, you know, means we're likely going to get more of them. So there you go. That's why I wanted to take a moment to share that with you and just let you know how Ghost of Tsushima is doing so far, at least in the UK. So that does it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Again, leave it a like if you did. Leave your thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.